South African immigrant and welfare queen never gave a damn about government efficiency.
Hold on, we started fast.
South African immigrant and welfare queen never gave a damn about government efficiency.
Okay. Preach, queen. Preach. This is starting out well. That started out fast. These are my kind of people.
Was never the point of DOGE. It was all a lie. It was all a ruse. Put up this first post. A Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations memo out this morning estimates that Elon Musk and his companies stand to avoid at least $2.37 billion in legal liability through his efforts to get the federal workforce and exert influence over federal agencies.
Not a good
Next
thing
slide.
That Elon left, because he already did the damage.
The report claims that the estimated $2.37 billion drastically underestimates the true benefit Musk may gain from his newfound influence in government, which could include billions through new contracts or the competitive advantage gained by collecting intelligence on competitors.
And he did.
Next.
He collected
As of January 20, Musk and his companies were subject to at least 65 actual or potential actions by 11 different federal agencies. The subcommittee estimated financial liabilities for 40 of the 65 actions by 8 federal agencies, including the memo calls on the Trump administration to respond info requests from Congress on Musk's federal entanglements, review contracts, awards, etc. to Musk companies to determine whether measures were in place to prevent undue influence, initiate independent audits of those major contracts. The memo concludes, no one individual, no matter how prominent or wealthy, is above the law. Anything less than decisive, immediate, and collective action risks America becoming a bystander to the surrender to modern oligarchy, public power in private hands. And the last one, on Sunday, Senator Blumenthal also sent a letter with the memo's findings to each Musk company facing oversight action by the federal government, SpaceX, Tesla, the Boring Company, XAI, and Neuralink, and requested more info by May 11th. So this is not as juicy as all the baby mama stuff, but this is so incredible.
No, this is the important stuff. And this is what I said, like, look, I'm fine with some entertainment. I'm fine with fun, but life is balance. I've been saying this my whole life. Life is balance, right? And people are like, you're not exactly an angry ginger. You laugh and you have fun, and it's like, because it's balance, man. You can't be angry all the time. I'm angry when it's appropriate to be angry. I'm angry when it's necessary. You know, like that's one of the missing elements of today's society is balance. It's like you shouldn't hate yourself for going and watching, you know, a funny video about Elon Musk and his 18 children. You shouldn't, you know, hate yourself for indulging in some comedy or taking a day off. I tell you guys all the time, like, you still got to have fun. Don't let them take your joy. Like, life is balanced. But this is the stuff that does, so we have a responsibility as content creators as being, you know, a bit of alt media. I have a hard time calling myself what these people are. These people do it for reals. I'm just a dude up here every once in a while talking and giving my point of view, right? We have a responsibility to speak on these things, like Diane Russell said, to speak on these things, to make sure people know about them. Because can you imagine what this country would be like right now if Donald Trump was the president of the United States doing the shit he's doing now, and all of these alternative media people did not exist? Can you imagine what would be happening behind the scenes while the American citizens are blindfolded because, you know, mainstream media, it has no fucking idea anymore how to do real journalism? And when I say mainstream media, I want people to understand. For the most part, I'm talking about CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, the Newsmax, all that shit, right? I still believe that there are good journalists out there. Clay Risen, in the interview I did with Clay Risen, I thanked him for doing the work that he did because I think he's a good journalist. Because Jeffrey Goldberg, when he reported on the Signal chat, he put himself at risk, and the danger isn't past. What do you think? Who do you think they're talking about when Pam Bondi says we should be able to go after journalists that use leaked information in their articles? They're talking about Jeffrey Goldberg. So I just want to make that clear because I do think sometimes people get caught up in the all news media is bad. When I say mainstream media, I'm talking about the big channels that don't actually report on anything anymore, that just divide America, that just are fucking faux news. There are still good journalists out there, and they need your support because they're going to do a real fucking hard job right now. But back to what I was saying, I like that she says this isn't the juicy fucking, this isn't Kanye in a Klan hood, but this needs to be reported on because that is the goddamn truth. Because without people like this lady and others, we would be blind to all the bullshit that's going on right now.
Telling. And it's what everybody suspected that doesn't sit around and freebase Fox News. He did all of this shit on purpose to enrich himself. He was under investigation, 40 out of 65 of those companies. And this man went in with a chainsaw and dismantled every bit of it. Had a guy named Big Balls probably remove evidence. And I want to remind everybody, this man said, because he's always on ketamine, off ketamine, and the truth dripped out. If Trump doesn't win, I'll probably go to prison for a very long time.
I don't think the letter asking for more information by May 11th is enough. I think they need to issue subpoenas. I think this man needs to account for his behavior immediately. They should have done it from jump. If we're depending on the Trump administration to make this right, we're in serious trouble. But I'll tell you what's going to happen in my very, very, very much optimistic hope that once the midterms are over and Democrats are in power, we haul his ass into Congress to testify, and then he is prosecuted because his crimes will live long.
Yeah, and here you go. Okay, she's hitting on something right here. Democrats right now, their approval rating is lower than Donald Trump's. That is fucking... If your approval rating is lower than Donald Trump's, you're fucking up. And Democrats better wake the fuck up to the fact that their constituents see what the fuck is going on because of alternative media, and they are not happy. And if you expect that you're going to get back in power in 2026, that Democrats are going to come out in force and that they're going to put, these people in a place of authority, and then you ain't going to do anything about it, or you're not going to produce any results. If you do that, this country is fucked. Because if you do that, the Democrats will dissolve. They will become even more fractured. And Donald Trump will have the run of this country. And we already see what's happening. We already know what's going to happen if if there are no guardrails. There already are no guardrails. And it's only going to get worse if Democrats get put into power and then they look around and go, well, we got to stand on etiquette. We got to be polite. We got to reach across the aisle. The right isn't they're not interested in working with you. They don't care about you. In fact, they don't care about their constituents. They only care about them. Mike Johnson is literally pushing forward archaic laws to keep fucking Democrats from putting out, policies or even rebukes. Shit, the Republicans push forward a policy, and now he's using archaic fucking legislation to be able to say, oh, you're not going to be able to bring this back up. We already said no. J.D. Vance voted on it. Like, the Democrats better learn from this. If they don't, they're in big fucking trouble. $10? Fan, $10. Thank you, Fan. I've had 10 times the hate expressed by the left than by MAGA. MAGA attacks the entire left. The left targets me personally for not agreeing on everything. If you don't value me, why should I value you? And that's, yeah, no, I agree with that, fan. 100%. I've talked, I talk about this shit here. You know that I talk about that on here. Is that the left eats their own way too often. And this is one of the few times I'm going to agree with that harsh criticism of the left. Because Jon Stewart pointed this out a while back. The right comes in. They say, Barack Obama doesn't get to push through the Supreme Court justice at the end of his term. And the left goes, well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hold the committees and do the things, and then we're gonna get this person through. And the right goes, no, you're fucking not. We're gonna do this thing that most of the time people don't do. It's a little bit rude. It's an abuse of power, but we're gonna do it. And the left goes, oh shucks, we couldn't get our Supreme Court justice pushed through. Then Trump gets in office, and Trump does the same thing that Obama did. And he tries to push through his Supreme Court justice at the end. And the right goes, we're going to do it. And the left goes, we got We got Remember when you guys said, that we couldn't do it because you use that thing. So you guys can't either now because that would make you hypocrites. And they're like, yeah, we're hypocrites. We don't fucking care. And then they push through Supreme Court justices. Now we have a lopsided right-wing Supreme Court justice. And so this, in my opinion, is one time where the left does 100% need to fucking take the L and say to themselves, like, you fucked up. This is bad. But you guys also know that I say all the time that the left needs to give more paths to redemption to people. Like, am I upset with Hakeem Jeffries for not being hard enough? 100%. Am I upset with Chuck Schumer for voting for that CR and allowing it to happen? Yes, I am. Am I upset that AOC didn't get made the head of that committee and Jerry Connolly was? Yeah, I am. But do I think that that's the end for all those people? Do I think Chuck Schumer is forever done for me? Is Hakeem Jeffries forever done for me? Is Jerry Connolly forever done for me? No. Because I do think the left has done a really bad job of opening the door to conciliation, right? And the problem with that is that the left closes their door on people very quickly while the right leaves open their door and fucking doesn't just leave open the door. They have a fucking Costco greeter at the beginning, at the front of the door going, come on in. We've got fucking tea and cake and Kool-Aid. Lots of Kool-Aid. And so the left 100% has to be better at disagreeing with each other and being able to say, that's okay. We disagree on these small things, but fundamentally, we're on the same side. And that's also the reason why I tell you guys I refuse to choose a political party. I'm a left-leaning individual, but I'm not going to say I'm Democrat or progressive or socially democratic. You can decide whatever you want about my beliefs. But for the most part, I want to be welcoming of anybody with beliefs that are going to make life better for all Americans. I want to be welcoming of people that have disagreeing ideas with mine because I want to test my ideas. I want to see where I'm wrong because I know I'm not always right. So I think the left needs to embrace more of that. And I've actually seen a lot of you guys do it, guys. Later, Robert, or whoever's leaving. I think we all need to be better at that. But I see that with you guys. I do see you guys having conversations. I've seen Fan here have conversations with people where he disagreed. And you guys now look, I see in this, I look in the chat and I see you guys talking. Like, that's big. Like, that's healing, man. That's where we need to get. We got to get to a point where we can all agree that the goal that we have in common is making a better America for all people. Making sure that people aren't discriminated against because of their ethnicity or their gender or their sexuality. Making sure that every single American, regardless of race or age or ability, is able to find a happy life on this one spin around the earth. That's something we all agree on. Now, you might say, oh, I think we should stop talking about all these transgender issues. It's not important right now. We might disagree on that. You might say, immigration is a problem and we got to do something about the border. And somebody else says, actually, that doesn't work for me. Like, people should be allowed to come into this country. That's okay. We can talk about that. You can say, I think socialism is the way. Well, I think communism is the way. Oh, I think, being an established Democrat is the way. That's okay. As long as, fundamentally, the foundation of your beliefs are we just want to have a better country for everybody. You should be able to stay and have conversations. Fantra says, I despise Bill Maher for pandering to Trump, but he has a point when he points out the virtue signal bullshit that the establishment Democrats do all the time. 100%. That's what I'm saying. I might not agree with Bill Maher, but sometimes he's right. Yeah, and Nina's hitting the fucking nail on the head, Nina. Nina's hitting the goddamn nail on the head. They just don't want progressives on an important committee because, donors. It all goes back to the same root cause, guys. The love of money is the root of all evil. That's the quote, right? The love of money is the root of all evil. Until we overturn things like Citizens United, until we get big money. And look, yeah, George Soros is big money on the left. I'm not saying that we should tell Elon Musk he can't be in politics, but George Soros gets to. I'm saying that you should have the same voice as George Soros. I'm saying you should have the same voice as Elon Musk. I'm saying that dark money and PACs and Citizens United are all bullshit. American citizens should have a right to determine what our politicians are doing. And that means some of us are going to have bad fucking ideas. Yeah, some of us are going to be hateful ass, racist people. But you get to have the same voice because if that's where this country is, then we need to speak louder. Then we need to drown out the bullshit with education. We need to take the ignorance and we need to replace it with good leaders that know how to talk to people of all classes. Everybody deserves the right to have a voice. It's the money. It's always been the money. Always.
Long past Pam Bondi, and the Supreme Court has not given a private individual in the public sphere unlimited immunity like they have Donald Trump. And I think he should be prosecuted for this because this is corruption 101.
What if Trump pardons him on the way out?
Well, he can do that, but here's the thing. Some of these are going to be state crimes that he's gotten into with his big overarching companies. They're in every city, in every state. So I hope we have some very brave attorneys general like Letitia James that look at all this and say, okay, you're pardoned federally, but you're not going to be pardoned by the states.
What if Trump is impeached? Can an impeached president pardon people on his way out the door?
That is a great question. And I don't know the answer to that, but I will absolutely find out because I would think that when Trump leaves, he's pardoning Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth, all of them. Elon Musk would be at the top of the list. Although you know how Trump is so diabolical, he may not he may not pardon Elon Musk just to watch him fall, just because he's jealous.
But I do think Elon Musk has goods on Trump.
Sure.
I believe they have a mutually assured destruction.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's like nuclear war, right? It's like when one country has nuclear weapons and so does the other. Oh, God, I didn't think about that. How nasty could this get? Jesus. Can you imagine Trump allowing, not pardoning Musk? Musk comes out with some dirt on Trump. Oh, dude, this could get nasty. Oh.
clause. He benefited Trump in illegal ways to help him ascend to the presidency. I think that there's just some deals that they made that are under the table. And the deal was, hey, if I help you, if I game the algorithms, if I do this, if I do that for you, you'll owe me. And I want to go shut down all of these investigations. Well, that's such an easy sell to Trump because he's just like, yeah, it's another witch hunt. Now they're coming after you. But I want to remind you, back before they made their blood bond, Trump used to get on Twitter and rip the shit out of Elon Musk. He would be like, Elon Musk is begging me for help. And he's only a billionaire because of these subsidies. Nobody even likes his electric vehicles. And then here they are, he's having a car commercial for him on the White House lawn. But I do think there is trouble in paradise. And they're so immature, these guys. So you have Scott Bessent and Elon Musk have a big fuck you fest while Giorgia Meloni, the prime minister of Italy, is in the Oval and everybody can overhear Scott Bessent, the demon queen, going, fuck you. And Elon Musk is like, say it louder. And he's like, fuck you. And everybody in the Oval can hear.
Oh, these ladies have the tea. I didn't know all that. All I heard was that they were in the hallway and then they realized they were right next to the Oval Office and somebody made them take it down the hallway. That's what I heard. Damn. These ladies have the tea.
And then they unfollow each other from Twitter. Like it's, we talk about the evil and the diabolical and all the shit about the Trump administration. But one word we don't use enough, they're unprofessional.
They are. They're indecent and unprofessional.
It's just unprofessional. It's just totally unprofessional to sit behind the Oval Office and have all your riffraff and knickknacks, flea market and peddling all this shit. And yes, man, standing behind you, just feeding your ego. That's unprofessional. You look like a weak ass man that can't sit there by yourself.
Oh, these ladies. God damn. How did I not know about these ladies? Dude, this is my kind of content. Oh, this makes my heart happy.
He has to have like narrators, hype guys behind him going, yep, that's right. You did it, boss.
You're the best.
It's just so pathetic. And then
so much more often.
I think he also unfollowed Musk. I think it was maybe Duffy, the transportation secretary. They got in a big pissing match because if Elon Musk wants to go in and he wanted to fire all these FAA administrators. Why? Because Elon Musk blasts a rocket off the coast of Florida, and the FAA then shut down SpaceX from having to do that because all these commercial flights are going everywhere and there's debris everywhere. Well, that hurt Elon Musk's feelings. So then he decides he wants to dismantle the FAA. What happens? I think it's 2 weeks into their turn, and we have planes crashing all over the place. And so then they unfollow each other. You did tell me. From Twitter. And so on top of being breathtakingly immature, sophomoric, not experts, for sure some sort of untreated addiction and mental illnesses on all of them. They're unprofessional. This is your job. Be professional. And this is something I want to talk to you about.
I really
Something that pisses me off and occupies a lot of space in my brain sometimes is Mitch McConnell trying to act like he cares about the country and he cares about the Constitution. And here's what I want to say. Mitch McConnell is no different than Trump and Musk. The only difference is he wants to be somewhat professional and polite about his racism.
Right. And he soft sells everything that it's policy.
They got to be careful. Turtle Man keeps the poison in the pouch. Okay. You guys might not know that, but that big fucking balloon of skin underneath Mitch McConnell's neck that is filled with turtle poison. Okay. You guys don't know about it. It's just, he's like an X-Men villain. Well, Turtle Man, you don't talk about my wife. Let's talk about the wife. I get them with the poison. They got to be careful. You're venturing into very dangerous territory.
But in reality, you're right. He took Obama's Supreme Court picks. He's packed the court with people that don't believe in the Constitution. And he's having buyer's remorse now. He sat there and talked about what Trump did on January 6th, and then he turned around and voted against impeachment.
They're so dope.
He is no better. And I feel like he had a large part in creating the monster that is now Trump.
One of the biggest parts. Exactly. I mean, one of the biggest birthers of it. And this is why I never bought into the Liz Cheney narrative. And so many Democrats are like, oh my God, Liz Cheney, she's such a hero. And I never bought into it because I'm like, she voted with Trump 90% of the time. She stands in front of cameras and says that babies were.
Yeah, so for the most part, I agree with what she's saying. But I think she's kind of taking it a little bit, I don't know, bad faith. I don't know if she's being bad faith, but because I don't know that every Democrat was super excited with Liz Cheney. I think they were happy that Liz Cheney was, attempting to. I mean, it's like Mike Pence, right? I guess that's the best example I can use is Democrats weren't happy with Mike Pence. They were just happy that Mike Pence's line wasn't, yeah, we should steal the election, right? Like, I think the Liz Cheney thing is very similar. I don't think that Democrats as a whole, although maybe there was. I mean, I could be wrong about that. Maybe they're like, I wasn't like, man, Liz Cheney is so awesome. I was like, well, I'm really glad that Liz Cheney's line was, hey, if you try to commit an insurrection, that's bad. Like, I was pretty happy that people that I think are probably pretty bad people weren't, they weren't Satan. That's kind of what it was. It's like, it's like you're like Satan's underling. You're not quite Satan. Congrats, So I agree with what she's saying in spirit, but I think that like mildly it's bad faith to say that Democrats treated him that way. But I could also be wrong. I could be misjudging the situation myself, and maybe more Democrats were like, yay, Liz Cheney. I mean, obviously Kamala Harris's campaign manager thought it was a good idea for Kamala Harris to go on tour with Liz Cheney, and I think that was the stupidest fucking idea that they could have possibly done. At the time, I was like, I don't know. Maybe they know something that I don't know. Maybe it's a good game plan. I don't know enough about these things. I'm still learning a lot about these things. So at that time, I think I was probably like, well, I don't know. Maybe it'll work out for her. It doesn't seem like a good idea. But looking back on that, it was a terrible, terrible idea.
Murdered after they were born in hospitals, which is a complete lie and a myth that American doctors participate in late-term abortions, which is a total lie. The difference between Liz Cheney and Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump and the Marco Rubios of the world, they all want the same thing. They just have two different approaches. So when I see Democrats embrace the Liz Cheneys or try to say, well, Mitch...
Okay, hold on. I need to hear you say that again because I got to be good faith about this.
Which is a total lie. The difference between Liz Cheney and Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump and the Marco Rubios of the world, they all want the same thing. They just have two different approaches. Mm-hmm. So when I see Democrats embrace the Liz Cheneys or try to say, well, Mitch McConnell voted against something.
I'm not happy with Mitch McConnell no matter what. He's Mitch McConnell.
A shit. Because these people, at the end of the day, they like all this MAGA shit. They hate all the same people that Trump hates. They stoke all the same fear, racism, hate, and fire in the rubes across, rural America. They just want to do it a little bit more quietly.
Right. And they want to disassociate from Trump because they know what a buffoon he is. And they want to think that they're superior intellectually and morally, but they're the same thing because they didn't stop it when they could have.
Maybe about my argument about Trump being professional. Maybe that's what Liz Cheney and Mitch McConnell are. Maybe they're just professional about their racism. So maybe I'm wrong to call them out for being unprofessional because you know what I'd rather see? At least he tells us the exact piece of shit that he is every single day and doesn't try to be morally duplicitous like a lot of these Republicans and some of these Democrats that arrive at the negotiating table by ceding rights of marginalized Americans, which I think is an unforgivable political move.
100%.
Unforgivable to leave people on the sidelines because you think it's going to cost you votes, to deny people rights and free speech and a right to vote and to stoke racist fears because you think it's a political liability. Because you know what happens? Some of these tokens that are run into Trump right now, you saw that Sequin or whatever his name is.
Oh, no. Damn. Oh, hold on. Oh, no. Oh, Saquon, why? Oh, no. Oh, fuck. This one's gonna hurt. Oh, dude, there's only a minute left. How much damage can she do to Saquon in a minute? Oh, brother. My dude. Saquon, no. Why did you have to do this, Saquon? Ah, fuck me. I need to mentally prepare myself for this. I'm sorry, guys. I need a moment. Fuck. Okay. Okay. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Fuck, this lady is... She's ruthless, though. She's ruthless. My boy's about to get eviscerated. Oh, shit. I'm scared, guys. I'm afraid to push the button. Oh, shit, dog. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm afraid to push the button. No, Goat Nuts. We all know he did a bad thing. We all know he did a bad thing. I chastised him on X. I blame it on the CTE, Goat Nuts. I blame it on the CTE. All right, fuck it. Let's go. Rip the Band-Aid off. Let's do it. Okay, here we go.
That are run into Trump right now. You saw that Saquon or whatever his name is, that football
Saquon
player.
Barkley.
Yeah. Oh. What happens with the token is they always end up getting spent. And that all of these people that are of color, marginalized, what's her name? The Kardashian.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner. You know, you're...
Okay, whew. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Thank God Caitlyn Jenner came in and took the target off of Saquon's back. Woo! Oh, good job, Caitlyn Jenner.
Token right now, and at some point you're gonna get
ain't wrong,
spent.
Though. I said the same
have
thing.
Conviction, have some decency, have a spine, walk the walk, talk
shit.
the talk, be unrelenting, be uncompromising, because Elon Musk just played everybody, and the damage that the history books, imagine 100 years from now, a South African immigrant comes to the United States of America, gets all of the Americans upset about immigration, and then dismantles the country in the very first time they ever saw an oligarch get on the inside of the government and do a self-coup. I mean, that's going to be the autopsy of it. It's insane. All right, subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 1 million, and we'll see you all later.
Dude, these ladies, they are ruthless. I like it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and check out that video on the screen now.